Hello, this is Nick Bertozzi. I hope you've had a good break and you're looking forward to getting started again. I'm really looking forward to working with you in RBE 2001, and thought you might want to get started on looking at some of the material and watching some of these videos and actually completing some assignments as well. So there is this on the Canvas website. You can see that you should be able to already see some of these assignments. FC is Flipped Classroom. That's basically where you read something or watch something and then answer some questions before we actually talk about it in class. But you can see that there's some SolidWorks quizzes. There's 5 of them that will all be due January 19th, and then there's a MathCAD quiz that will be due January 22nd. So if you want to, you can watch the videos and go ahead and take these quizzes even before the first day of class. And I'll talk a little bit later about how to use these quizzes. Another thing I'll point out is on the home page here of the Canvas website, there'll be a Google Calendar, and it's not all filled in yet. You can see that some of my office hours, you click on that, tells you the times and the date and whatnot. But I'll have the essays and the TAs also put in their office hours, so you'll have quite a bit of coverage in terms of being able to get help or ask questions. And then you have a syllabus link here, so you can go ahead and read through the syllabus. There's information here about how the course is going to be run, the objectives, and so on, and the breakdown in terms of the grade, percent of each, homework, quizzes, labs, and so on. And there's a academic honesty policy and some information on student disability services and so on. And then there's also the link here to Piazza, which you can go to directly right here. You can click on this link right here. We'll also be using Echo 360, so all the lectures will be recorded. You can always go back and look at those. And of course, also in the syllabus, you'll find the tentative schedule for the breakdown of topics and dates.
Okay, so if we go ahead and click on modules, just want to show you a few things that are available that you can get started looking at. So first of all, we have this remote desktop, RBE Wiki, and SolidWorks install information. So the wiki has some useful information. If I click on that, and if you go to RBE 2001 and look at the lab appendices in Lab 1, for instance. So there's some things here related to Lab 1. This site is maintained by RoBeta, so the linkage stuff here is we're using a little bit different system right now. But the transistors, you can read about transistors here, and so there's some useful information there. And if you click on this link right here to transistors, again, there's some more information about how transistors work. So that'll be useful for the first lab. Okay, and then there's information here on how to use remote desktop. So this is a way that off campus you can log into this site, windows.wpi.edu, and then you can use things like SolidWorks, MathCAD, and MATLAB if you don't already have those. So students tell me that using SolidWorks through the remote desktop, it kind of bogs down a little bit. So you can install SolidWorks on your own computer, and there's a video that explains how to do that here. And there's also some introductory videos on this link. If you don't have any SolidWorks experience, you might want to take a look at those. Okay, so if I go back here, now there's this link to additional video information. And so this is the playlist that you want to work through for your introduction to SolidWorks. It goes over doing parts, assemblies, and bill of materials. And these are just some files. So in other words, this link takes you to the playlist, and these are just files that you can use. Now you notice that there's different template files and formatting files here, but you'll notice that in this particular case, I put my initials in front of them, and I would suggest that you can just download these and save them, and then put your own initials in front of them, and then, of course, if they're a drawing template and they have my name in the title block, then you want to change it to your name. But the reason it's good to start with your initials is because a lot of these templates, if you move from computer to computer in the lab, there are templates already on the hard drives, and you want to make sure that you're not saving to the hard drive. So if you save files to the hard drive, of course, you'll clutter up the hard drive. And the other thing is, problem with that is then if you move to a different computer, you won't have access to those templates or to your files. So you always want to save stuff not on the hard drive, but like maybe on a memory stick, or your network account would be a good place to put things. And just to make sure that when you have to when you start SolidWorks and you have to tell it where the file locations are for the templates, that you pick a file that has your initials in it. It's just a good way to keep things straight. So anyways, there's a bunch of videos that you can work through here. And you can also look at some, we're going to be using Git, so you can go work through some of these things. This is GitHub for Poets. It's very basic, step by step, a little bit goofy, but pretty good. And so these are good things to work through. And then you also have, you can go ahead and look at the Introduction to Lab Equipment playlist. Okay, so let me go back to the home page again. And so the way that you want to work through these quizzes, I'm just going to click on one here. You can see that there's instructions here. So take this quiz after watching. So these are two of the first SolidWorks videos, Introduction to Templates and Sheet Format. So watch those first. The way I recommend that you do this is, you have SolidWorks open, so you watch a little bit of the video and then try it yourself, right? If you just watch the video, you're probably not going to, you're probably not going to retain the information. So you want to watch the video, try the stuff on your own. And then after you finish these two videos right here, then you can click on there and take the quiz, and so on. So quiz number 2. Now you want to watch C, D, E, and F, those videos from the playlist, and then take the quiz, and so on. So the quizzes shouldn't be too difficult as long as you watch the videos first. And of course, if you're already a SolidWorks expert, then you may want to just try taking you could try taking the quizzes right off if you want, see how you do. So let's go back here. All right, so let's go back to modules now. And there's a couple of other videos here. Force analysis, so I click on that. So Ken Stafford, of course, he's a great teacher, great at teaching force analysis and statics. Hopefully you've already had statics, or at least you're in statics concurrently with RBE 2001. But so this is a couple of his lectures. If you need a review on force analysis, you can watch those. Okay, and then in addition to that, of course, you can go to the WPI Robotics YouTube channel and click on playlist. And if I click on that, you can see there's 3 videos here that are also would be useful to watch.
Hi, I'm Ken Stafford, and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is the study of forces and the way it works in mechanical systems. Especially useful as a fundamental background for robotics engineers and mechanical engineers. Before we get into this, I need to talk.
Okay, so another thing that you might find useful is there's this playlist on linkages. We're going to be working through all this stuff in class, but if you have time and you want to look at those videos on linkages, you can do that as well. Okay, so one other thing I want to mention before I forget is in SolidWorks itself, if you fly out the question mark there and click on SolidWorks Tutorials, let's see, I gotta try and get that in your field of sight here. So you have under Getting Started on SolidWorks Tutorials, there's a lesson on parts, a lesson on assemblies, and a lesson on drawings. So like if you start with one of those, it will take you through, and it will even show you. Let's see if I can bring this down a little bit so you can see it. If you click here, see, it shows you what button to push up here. So it kind of walks you through step by step. So these are pretty good. So as I said, it would be lesson 1 parts, lesson 2 assembly, lesson 3 drawings. If you have no experience with SolidWorks, you might want to try and work through these first and then work through the other playlists that I mentioned. Right, which would be under additional videos here. So you might want to do that one and then work through this playlist right here that before you take the quizzes. Okay, so another thing, if you have time, that you could work on is the MathCAD. Here's the MathCAD introduction, and so these will be useful. We'll be using MathCAD to do your analysis for your project, and so you don't have to watch through all of them right now, but if you can get started on those, that'd be great. And then the last few actually have to relate directly to one of the homework problems. So MathCAD is another thing that you could take a look at. Okay, and then yeah, let's see, if we go to people. Okay, and so you're going to be working in teams of 3, and have this set up so that you can go ahead. Don't add a named team. Right now there's 60 people signed up for the course. We might have to add another team or 2 because there's some people on the waiting list. But anyway, so I have it limited to 3 people per team. And so if you have 2 other students that you want to be on a team with, just find a team. Right now they all have 0 students in them. But what you can do is just find a team that's empty, one of these, doesn't matter what the number is, and then you can just add your 3 names. So in other words, you have the freedom to set up your teams with people that if you have some people that have similar schedules as you and you want to work with them. Otherwise, we'll set the teams up probably during the second day of class or so. All right, and then just one last thing I'll mention is we're going to be using Piazza. So I've put your names into the list for the Piazza account, and so you should be able to set this up, and this will be a way that you can ask questions any time of day or night, and then if somebody else wants to answer your question, they can, another student or one of the TAs or SAs or myself if I see it. So it should be a way to quickly get feedback on your questions. So I think that's about it for now. And as I said, I'm really looking forward to working with you in A term. And I know I had some of you in 1001 back in D term. So yeah, I think we're going to have a great time. And yeah, if you get a chance to try and start working on some of this stuff now. Have a great day.